I acquired two more frock coats for the Civil War reenactments. Not quite period and cut. However, they will be perfect for my Edwardian to 1920s reenactments. The one on the right should date between 1909, when Campbell Hamilton Leith formed Leith and Young with his partner in Detroit, and 1927, when, according to a reference I found, they go out of business, though in 1928 they're involved in a class action lawsuit, so I'm not sure if that's just a carryover from 27 or not. However, this one's actually in better shape. It has basically all the buttons. The worst of the damage is on the back. There is a big tear in it. It's no surprise. It's just a fascinating piece of clothing. If we can find the tag. There it is. Now, my friend Trevor suggested this might have been part of like a Knights Templar uniform because he thinks this is a scabbard clip. Now, thankfully, I am a small guy. I mean, I'm 6 foot, but I'm very narrow. So I can actually fit into this. I've tried both of these coats on. But this one, while it has significant damage to it in some places, the buttons have literally just been torn off. And there are holes, hard to really see considering that it's black, but tears and stuff in the sleeves. I don't know what happened to this poor thing. But it's exciting because this one still has its original tag on it. And what's interesting about, I'm going to guess it's pronounced Ealing Brothers Everard Co., whatever that is. Anyway, 1869 they found as a printing company, and they don't actually start making clothing, as far as I can tell, until the 20s. So, really hard to say when they started, but about 1922 is when I start seeing references. Not very common until about 1930, though. However, in 1931, I see these ads for clothes of the Mastercut name. That's the, if we can find it, that's that stitch tag there. So the Mastercut uniform name. But what this one does not say is whatever this Peter Pan fabric is. So if I can get this thing to focus. Oh, it's not relevant to us. There we go. And it kicked me out. What a surprise. Anyway, they continue making ritualistic aprons and other sundress costumes. So they're making costumes and stuff into at least the 1960s. This one is interesting to me. A flying suit. But really, they mainly focus on costuming. And they're still around in 1991. That was when I stopped researching them, because I didn't care. But they were no longer making clothing. They were just back to being a print shop. So from the 20s to at least the 60s, they made clothing. The master cut really seems to be 30s and 40s. I just can't believe somebody would buy something like this. I love that it has a watch pocket on the frock coat. They would buy it and never wear it, because this tag is, it's stapled in there. I feel like there might have been something on the sleeves, though, because the damage is in the same spots on both sleeves. It's like they had a patch that was ripped off. I'm not sure why. So, presuming these were owned by the same person, and we have another scabbard clip apparently. Here's the other one, the significant damage on the back. Thankfully, it's right at the where they would have sewn it on, so that's definitely repairable. But He bought one to wear, and the other one is a backup? Not sure. However, I'm going to give one a wash. Yes, this wringer washer, and yes, I do use a washboard sometimes. This wringer washer is what I use to wash our clothes here. Get my camera to stay focused. We're just going to give this thing a little soak. Not going to run it through the wringer like this. The washer, I should say. Definitely not running it through the wringer. Never run antique buttoned clothing through a wringer. It rips off buttons quite often. So back here somewhere, you should actually see some buttons that have been lost over the past couple weeks. On one of my coats, my father's coat, the only thing I have from my father actually, and whatever shirt this came off of, and it's gone. Oh well, some of the ones from the coat that matter. But anyway, I brought out these products. On antique clothing, these are what I might use. I might not mix them together. However, I might use this and this, and then this. I might use this, this, and this. Might just stick with this. But today we're going to use vinegar. We're going to use hydrogen peroxide. We're going to use a little bit of Dawn. And we're going to use conditioner, because the conditioner is actually very important for conditioning the antique wool. So wool, being a hair, well, it likes to be conditioned. The wool would have lanolin from the sheep in it, and I could add lanolin, however, conditioner seems to be more preferable. So that's what we're going to do right now. First, we're going to add some vinegar that helps the product keep its color. This is a very tiny room. I can't even stand up in this room, because we don't want it to lose its color. And we're going to add a little bit of Dawn, just to break up some of the molecular adhesion. Hydrogen peroxide is always great at getting stains out. And then finally, a few pumps of the conditioner that I use for my hair. Okay. So we're just going to wash this by hand by pressing down and lifting up. So I'm going to put the phone down for a moment. Eventually I will turn the washer on once I put this inside out. No, I'm not in a dress. This is a vintage pajama shirt from the 50s, because as you probably figured out, I like vintage clothing, and it's pitch black out there. So the water was already dirty to start with. This was my rinse cycle from my clothes. However, it was gray. It was just gray water. Now it's turning brown. So we know for certain this is dirty. Very dirty. Now the water should not be hot. It should do it in cool water. It can still be like 80 degrees, but not hot. So both of us took a shower already. And then I already did a load of laundry, another load. So this water is really not that warm. Only a 40-gallon water heater. If this one's this dirty, I'm going to think the other one, even though it was never worn, apparently, is going to be equally as dirty. And thus, I'm going to take that tag off carefully, preserve it forever, but wash that jacket as well. Or should I say frock coat for my sack suit. Then we're going to put these inside out and very carefully and very slowly use the agitator. Don't want it tearing the wool. But then we'll give you an update in a couple days after I pat these things dry, after letting them drip dry for a while, then iron them while they're still slightly damp, If I had bought that iron right like I should have, and I wouldn't have to do all that, but no room. Small farmhouse, 1856. Yeah, that water is delightful. And Trevor thought I should just lint roll these. Well, maybe I'll save you a cup, Trevor. You can even tell it's dirty in my hand. You know it's bad. Yeah, drink up.